I'm going to be chatting about how to fall asleep faster, but some of these tips are not something you would normally hear for a kind of video like this. Hi guys, welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Jills and I talk all about health, wellness, and self-development for women. So if that's something you want to learn more about, be sure to hit the red subscribe button below as well as the notification bell so you don't miss when I put out any new videos. In today's video, I'm talking about how to fall asleep faster and have a more restful sleep. I've got 5 solid tips for you, and some of these you might not have heard or really thought about much when it comes to sleep. Some of them are more conceptual while others are very practical and easy to implement. Let's dive in. Okay, so the first tip I have for falling asleep faster is actually related to what you do during the day and kind of taking a look at your life. So hear me out here. Not a lot of people talk about this when it comes to sleep, but I find that when I'm just really enjoying my life, doing things that excite me, that fill up my cup and give me purpose, it's just naturally way easier to fall asleep and have good restful sleep. And I know I'm not the only one. So I know this isn't a quick and easy fix, I get it, and I know that there are some things that are just outside of our control, but if you have chronic problems with falling asleep or insomnia, then this is something to seriously consider. What part of our lives do we love? What part of our lives do we not love? Deep down, and ignoring any sort of limiting beliefs or judgments from yourself, what do you want to be doing? What do you want to be spending your time on? What do you want your life to look like? Really try to connect with yourself and be honest with yourself and ask yourself, what does your soul really want, not just your ego? And I know making any sort of big life changes can sometimes take time or at least be a process for sure, but if you don't start now, then you'll never get there. And even just the fact that you know that you're slowly working towards that goal or that lifestyle or whatever it is can help bring you some peace and dramatically help in the short term. So when you clicked on this video, you probably weren't expecting a whole life evaluation, but I do think there's a tie between consistently not being able to fall asleep and our overall satisfaction with life. So just something to think about. Now my next tip for falling asleep faster actually has to do with feminine energy and embracing our feminine energy. So this is more of another abstract one, but I promise the more sciencey and practical tips are coming right after this. During the day, a lot of times, depending on our job or our lifestyle, we can be in a very masculine state of, getting things done, taking action, crossing off to-dos. But when we're in this state all day, it can sometimes make it challenging for us to kind of switch back into that more feminine way of being. The masculine is a state of doing and the feminine is a state of being. And sleep is not a process of doing, it's a process of being. You don't do anything while you're asleep, you just are. It's something that your body naturally does on its own, kind of like pumping the heart and breathing. First of all, I'll definitely recommend that you watch this other video of mine, how to activate your feminine energy. It kind of goes into detail about what masculine and feminine energy even is. So if you're newer to this concept, then that could be pretty helpful for you. But when it comes to sleep, there are some things we can do at the end of the day to kind of help wind us down and get back more into that feminine state. Meditation can be really helpful, especially since it's a process of being instead of doing, and kind of helps bring us back into our body, which is really important for connecting with our feminine energy. But really any form of self-care is great for this. So before bed, slow down. Take an hour to focus on just you. Give yourself a massage, or maybe make someone else give you a massage, do a face mask, take a bath, and turn your bedroom into your little oasis. Turn down the lights, light some non-toxic candles, diffuse some essential oils like lavender. Just make it romantic, make it pleasurable, and make it a thing. Create some sort of a beautiful ritual to shift you into your feminine so you can fully relax and embrace the state of being instead of resist it. Okay, let's talk about something a little bit more practical and easy. My third tip to help you fall asleep faster is all about body temperature. So when we fall asleep and as we prepare for sleep, our body temperature naturally lowers. This is just a part of the process. And when morning approaches, our body temperature naturally rises to prepare us for waking up. So by supporting this, it can help us to facilitate sleep and kind of help slip into this state a little bit quicker. So for this, you want to make sure you're sleeping in a cool room, and the actual best temperature for sleeping is actually pretty cold at 65 degrees Fahrenheit. I personally sleep way better when I'm in a nice cool room, and I literally cannot sleep when I'm in a hot room, or just a warm room. I can't do it. Another thing to keep in mind is that you also want to avoid any sort of activities that will naturally increase your body temperature within 2 hours of bedtime. So exercise, which naturally warms you up from the inside, should be avoided close to bed. However, things like warm showers and baths are okay. Not only are they super relaxing, but it's been shown that when you get out of the shower or bath, that the cool air of the room will kind of help to drop your body temperature again and induce sleep. So you might think, I'll just take an icy cold shower before bed to kind of help drop my body temperature, and theoretically you would think that that would work, but it actually has the opposite effect and it wakes you up. So it's great to do in the morning, but not at night. All right, next tip. Let's talk about lighting and why this matters. Way back in the day, before we had light bulbs, when the sun set, it got dark. And this darkness told our body to create the hormone melatonin so that we can get sleepy. But since we're now able to get exposed to large amounts of light at night, not just from light bulbs, but from all the screens that we're looking at too, this confuses our body and we're not able to send ourselves the signals we need to get sleepy and tired. So there are a few things that we can do about this. One, try to keep as many lights off at night as possible. If you have the dimmer function, then that's great and you can kind of help dim them down. You can also light candles for light too. And secondly, avoid electronics at least 2 hours before bed because these emit blue light and will keep you up. Pro tip though, try using red or amber lights for your bedroom for your lamps. You can just buy red spectrum bulbs, screw them in like normal, and turn them on at night, and this is actually really conducive to sleep. This has been a game changer for me. It's really easy to do, so if you haven't tried this one, definitely try it. Another way to make sure you fall asleep fast, and this is something that's very, very important to me because I'm one of those people where my brain is constantly buzzing, is to avoid a lot of brain stimulation at least an hour before bed. You want your brain to be calming down during this time, not ramping up. So you really want to avoid any sort of heavy or existential thinking or activities. So reading can be really great, but keep it light, nothing too intense, and definitely avoid social media and the news. Definitely the news. You don't want to be reevaluating your entire life purpose, save that for the morning, but if you're like me, then you need something to occupy your brain. So that's why I love reading, but other great options are things like drawing or coloring or listening to calming music or journaling, but again, don't get too intense there, or relaxing and just cuddling with your pet or your partner or yourself. But keep it light, keep it easy. Hope you found these tips helpful and that you get a nice, good sleep tonight and every night. If you have any other tips to share, be sure to pop them in the comments below so that we can all help each other out. If you found this video helpful, be sure to hit the like button. I really appreciate it. It really helps to support my small but growing channel. And if you haven't subscribed yet and want to see more wellness and self-development based content for women, be sure to do that so you don't miss a thing. See you next time.